Chapter 93. Mr. Pierce also wants to see Miss Hart. Mr. Pierce, why did you suddenly decide to decorate a children's room? Logan asked, arms full of toys as he followed behind Adrian. They'd been shopping all afternoon, buying children's items. At first, he thought Mr. Pierce wanted to buy gifts for Lily. But after buying toys, Adrian had started picking out beds, sofas, carpets, and all sorts of furniture. He finally couldn't help but ask. Adrian replied flatly, to decorate a children's room. Seriously? When did Adrian have a child? Could it be… Logan's eyes suddenly widened. Is Miss Hart pregnant? Logan's mind couldn't quite process it. Was it the eldest Miss Hart? Or the second Miss Hart? Given Mr. Pierce's attitude toward the eldest Miss Hart, it really didn't seem like she'd get pregnant before marriage. And the second Miss Hart now had a boyfriend. Even less likely she'd suddenly be pregnant with Mr. Pierce's child. I think you need to get your brain checked if the only thing you can think of when hearing children's room is pregnancy. Adrian glanced sideways at Logan, who was walking half a step beside him. Then why did you suddenly decide to decorate a children's room? Logan asked curiously. Who decorates a children's room for no reason when they don't have kids? Too much money, nowhere to spend it. Logan. That reason left him completely convinced. The two entered a home textiles store. Adrian's gaze fell on lavender bedsheets. Just as he was about to reach out, his phone started vibrating in his pocket. He pulled out his phone. Seeing the caller ID, his brow relaxed slightly. Director. Mr. Pierce, are you available to come over? Lily got into a fight and has locked herself in her room, refusing to come out. Adrian's brow furrowed. He replied affirmatively and put away his phone. Stop looking. We're going to the orphanage. Seeing him stride toward the exit, Logan could only hurry to keep up. He still didn't understand why Mr. Pierce was so concerned about this orphan girl. In his impression, Adrian really disliked children. Once at a banquet, a business partner's child had hugged Adrian's leg, and his expression had been cold enough to freeze. Could it be because this little girl resembled the second Miss Hart? The first time he'd seen this little girl, he'd only felt she looked vaguely familiar. Later, after Lily had been cared for and looked more fair-skinned, he'd realized where that sense of familiarity came from. She looked a lot like Ava. He hadn't expected Mr. Pierce to also like finding substitutes. No, wait, that wasn't right. The little girl wouldn't even be 6 until next month. The car sped toward the orphanage. Half an hour later, the car stopped outside the orphanage. Logan was about to unbuckle his seatbelt when the man in the back seat stopped him. You stay in the car. Adrian got out alone. In the front courtyard of the orphanage, children's crying could faintly be heard. In a corner, a little girl in light pink hugged her knees, staring into the distance. The director and a bunch of children surrounded a 5- or 6-year-old boy who was crying his heart out. Okay, Leo, stop crying. The director patted Leo's back gently, comforting him. Lily? Lily looked up at the sound and saw Adrian standing in front of her. She called out in a voice barely above a whisper, Uncle Pierce. Why are you crouching here? Adrian bent down and picked her up. Over there, the director saw Adrian. She released Leo and walked over with Director Palmer. Mr. Pierce, Lily hit someone and won't say why. She won't answer any questions. I had no choice but to trouble you, Director Palmer explained. Adrian's gaze followed Director Palmer's words, landing on Leo's bruised and swollen face. Then he looked away. He looked at the little girl in his arms. Lily hugged his neck, burying her face in his chest, looking thoroughly aggrieved. Lily wouldn't hit someone for no reason. You should ask him what he said first. Director Palmer and the director both opened their mouths. For a moment, they didn't know what to say. After Lily entered the orphanage, Adrian had donated a substantial sum and even renovated the orphanage's old buildings, giving the environment a complete makeover. He came to see Lily from time to time. The director naturally understood his donations were related to Lily. That's why she'd contacted Adrian to come over today. Director Palmer rubbed Leo's head and crouched down. Leo, did you say something to Lily today? It took Director Palmer quite some effort before Leo finally spoke. I just heard she was Miss Ava's illegitimate daughter. I asked her about it, and she started hitting me. Leo's eyes darted around, not daring to look at Director Palmer. Immediately, Director Palmer and the director's eyes widened. Who on earth had spread such a rumor? 6 years ago, Ava had only been 18. How could she possibly have given birth? Director, I think you should properly educate the children. Send the medical bills to my assistant. We'll cover them. But I expect Lily to receive the apology she deserves. Uncle, was I too mean? Lily twisted her fingers, looking down at her shoes. When Leo had come to apologize earlier, seeing the injuries on his face, she felt like she'd hit too hard. She'd just been so angry hearing people say that about Ava. Plus, her mother had carried her for 10 months with great difficulty before giving birth to her. No, you weren't. Adrian rubbed Lily's head, speaking seriously. Being appropriately assertive protects you. You did very well today. Don't worry. With Uncle here, you don't need to be afraid of causing trouble. Lily hugged Adrian's arm from the side. Thank you, Uncle Pierce. She looked up at Adrian, her eyes full of anticipation. Can I go see Aunt Ava? Logan, who was driving, glanced at the rearview mirror. He could tell Mr. Pierce also really wanted to see Miss Hart. Sure enough, Adrian agreed with a smile and told him to go to the Hart house. Where did you sleep last night? The moment Ava sat down, Monica couldn't wait to interrogate her. Ava lazily lifted her eyelids, smiling. Mom, I'm almost 25. Do I need to report the details of my private life to you every day? I don't remember you being this concerned about my business when I was little. Monica choked. I neglected you before, but back then, your sister, Ava impatiently interrupted Monica. You want to say Grace was still young, had lost her mother, was so pitiful, and needed you, right? Without waiting for Monica to answer, she continued. I know. I don't blame you. They say the palm and back of the hand are both flesh, but the palm has way more flesh than the back. Grace is the palm of your hand. I understand you caring more about her. Who told her she doesn't have a mother while I do? Ava shrugged, leaning back casually against the sofa. Do you have to be so sarcastic? Do you know your father and I fought because of you yesterday? Can't you be more understanding? The cold treatment from her husband and daughter magnified the grievance in Monica's heart. You two actually fought because of me? Ava raised an eyebrow, as if hearing something incredibly newsworthy. Just as she was about to speak, Mrs. Quinn came in saying someone was looking for her.